What is going on, everybody? My name is Will from Ghost Hack, and today I'm going to be making a full unique beat out of one of the hip hop and trap construction kits from Ghost Hack. Alright, so I have here the pack of construction kits. This is the Ultimate Trap and Hip Hop Construction Kits Volume 1. It is available on the Ghost Hack website. There's a link to our website in the description below, but basically I chose out one of these. There's a lot of them. You can see there is a lot of them, and I chose out this one called Scared, and this comes with the demo beat. You have the wave file loops, you have MIDI loops, that's all the MIDI files, and you have the one shot. So you have everything that you will need to recreate this if you wanted to, but I'm just going to let you guys have a listen to this so you can see what it is exactly I'm working with. Alright, so there's the beat. It's not a terribly complex beat, but this would be good, let's say, if you're a rapper and you have, some lyrics you want to put behind some basic music. This would be a good kit to grab because you have a lot of different ones here. And today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking the files, mainly the files from this kit, maybe some grabbing from other kits as well, because there's a lot of good samples and sounds in these, but I'm going to be making a unique beat inspired by this idea right here. So I'm going to get rid of this guy right there because I really don't need it. I don't want to use the full beat. I want to make my own, and I'm going to just take a listen to these sounds. Now, to be honest, I kind of know immediately what I want to start doing, and that's one of the synths, I guess. Yeah, I'll take the full. That's all the synths together. I want to take the synth and kind of warp it a little bit. Now, first off, we have a problem. This is not to our project tempo. Well, it has it right here. This is at 145 BPM. So let's make it 145. Beautiful. And there's also an A minor, so we can keep that in mind. But this is the little synth loop here. And now I want to add one of my ultimate favorite effect plugins for hip hop, Gross Beat. This is a very, very effective tool in a lot of situations, especially if I take something like this and I want to make it unique and kind of more my own. So I'm going to go into Momentary right here up top, and I'm going to just go ahead and try this out. Select the half speed. Okay, that's kind of interesting. However, it's not very useful. It's just the same two things playing over and over again. But I want to try to scoot it. If I can scoot it maybe one here, because this happens every 4 times. So even if we just scoot it by 1, we're going to get a very different result. Now, I'm actually a pretty big fan of that progression, especially if we add like the bass line under it. You can sort of hear the general progression as it goes. Like, let me take this, and you can hear how they sound sort of together. I think they blend pretty well. And you could almost layer this synth filter. You could almost layer it on top of this one, and it would make sense, especially with the bass line. So I think what I'm going to do is just start working on the main part of the beat. I just want to start working on everything. So I'm going to route this into 11 because I think this does add a nice layer. Then I want to add an effect to it so it isn't just the raw sample. So all I did was just add a phaser and a flanger doing this kind of thing, just really spinning it around. Now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to grab bass 2 and replace it right there, because this is basically the rolling bass without the sub. I just wanted the rolling bass. I was going to cut it out anyway, so it kind of makes sense. And it's always very important when you have your bass to always just take out the sub right there and leave a bunch of room, because that's where the kick and the 808 obviously are going to hit, so you need a lot of room hitting right there. So make sure there's nothing getting in the way of that and causing any weird phase cancellation when you add the other stuff in. All right, now I'm going to build the drums. So let's go into the one shots and grab the kick. Kick's going to go here. And then let's grab the clap. We're going to add more drums in here. These are just sort of placeholders. All right, so we got our kick and our clap going. And now we're just going to route these. I'm going to normalize this. And then maybe trim it up. There we go. This is going into 1. And the clap. Obviously normalized, very loud, but it's going to go into 2. Let's lower this kick and this clap. I think that they're definitely going to get reinforced, but for right now, I want to take this clap. See if we can't shorten it. Trim it up a little bit, and maybe we could pitch it. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take from this kit, which is unconventional, I'm going to take this snare, and I'm going to layer it. And it looks like it's a little long, so we can shorten it. We can just place it everywhere there's a snare. All right, I know what I want to do with this snare is I want to add a soft clipper to it, and I have this little preset right here that I made. It's just these settings where it just slopes up like this. This is going to make the snare a good deal harder. And actually, before the soft clipper, I'm going to do a little bit of EQing. And for the kick, I'm actually going to layer it with this one from Unstable, because I think this one has a little bit more of an impact. So I just want to go out here and then cut it out. So now together it creates a little bit stronger of a kick. So we're just going to layer that every time a kick drum hits. So now we'll route this into 1. And now in this one, we can boost it a little bit with a little bit of clip. So maybe we can get a little more of an impact. I'm cool with that. And now let's run it through the soft clipper like we did with the snare. But maybe an EQ beforehand. It's a little sharper, and now it's more like closer to the volume of the snare. All right, now the demo kit comes with this loop right here. I do not want to use it. I think I can make something a little more interesting, and I want to use just a single hit hat. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this hat, drop it right there, and then create some kind of pattern. Let's see, C5, we can just throw one down, doesn't really matter. And now let's lay it there. Let's find our pattern. Lay it there. And now let's make a pattern to go with this beat. All right, so here's the hat pattern I have going for me. Now it is time for one of my favorite parts of the show, the 808. Now this beat comes with a bass, but it does not come with an 808. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab an 808 from Serum, actually, not Synthland, Serum. And now let's find an 808 preset that I've made. All right, so this is my little 808 preset. You can use any 808 you really have on hand. And now I can take the MIDI file. Let's take bass 1 right here and drag that. And now I have the MIDI for the actual bass line, which is just a few little notes. Let's move this up to a normal pitch. And now that I have these 4 notes, I have to align the 808s like with the pattern of the drums. All right, so this is the 808 pattern I have going. So now the problem is this really needs to be sidechained. So let's route this into 4. All right, I think I'm actually going to sidechain the kick directly into the 808 track right here with the limiter, so I can duck down the 808 with the kick, because I think it doesn't really matter that this one is slow, because obviously the sidechaining would have to be slow enough anyway for the kick to fully decay for the 808 came in. So now we can kind of control, let's see, I have this routed here, it's the kick, because I sidechained it directly to this track. And now we can mess around with the threshold. Now, in retrospect, there are some high parts here that I think I'm going to have to deal with differently. I In that case, I'm just going to bring it down to the A. And in this case, I'm going to bring the A down to the F and bring this one up to the A. That end part turned out pretty good, but the hi-hats still need to be sidechained, so now it shouldn't mess up our mix as much. Let's add a little bit of verb to this right here. Let's go just fruity reverb. Okay. One sample I know I do want to add is a sample from the same pack right here, from this separate kit called Horns and Halos. There's one shot right here, which is church bells. I want to add that right there, but we have to pitch it. Let's see, this is an E major, so this is probably an E. All right, so there it is. However, it's a little bit weak. What I think I want to do is route this one into 14, I believe, is the one that I need. Or maybe it's 13. I think 13 is better. Yeah, it's 13. Let's call this bell. But what I want to do is actually make two bells. So I make this one and this one. Let me make this one unique. And then I can pitch this one up, let's see, 13 instead of just 1. So now it's an octave above the other one, which I think will make a big difference. Like that. So, and then we have to add like a lot of reverb. And then I also do kind of want to roll off the high end. Maybe kind of even it out down here. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. And I also, from the same pack, want to use this chord hit. Right there, but I want to pitch it up 8. So now it's very long. It can layer with the bells to sound like this. And then all together in the track. So the bell and the chord hit are much too loud. Yeah, I actually like that, adding that small one right there. Actually, the higher one sounds even better. Yeah, it's less deep and powerful, so it doesn't take away from this, but it still gives that church bell sound, and it leaves a good harmony with the bass line. Next, I'm going to get a little more creative and sort of stray a little bit away from the pack, and this is where you can add sort of your own stuff. Like, I think this beat needs some more high layers in here, because there's a lot of sort of low stuff that's sort of droning. It needs something that sticks out a little bit more, so I'm going to pull up, let's see, where is it? Flex, there it is, another great plugin for hip hop. All right, what I'm going to do is take this, which is the full wind staccato from the Essential Winds pack. It's free when you get Flex, and Flex is free if you get FL Studio, so it's all free. But I want to add this pattern basically. And what I'm going to do to make it a little more interesting, a little less robotic, is select all these notes except for these 4 going up right there. And then I'm going to go Tools, and I want to go Randomize. And now it may look like this and completely mess everything up, but just uncheck pattern and it'll bring you back to how you were. And now you can randomize the levels. So we want to go velocity down a little bit here. And I want a new random algorithm. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Let's find a good one. There, I'll accept that. And now I'll select all of them, and then I can scale the levels by going Tools and then Scale Levels. Now I can go down with the multiply maybe. And that makes it a little easier to listen to. And it's too loud, obviously, but I also want a little bit of delay on here. So I'm going to turn the level of the feedback down a little bit, turn down the cutoff, turn on bandpass filter, maybe cut off about there, a little bit of resonance, turn down the wet. Okay, the cutoff being in a lower position is actually better. Need some reverb. All right, I think that sounds pretty good. This is the flute. But I'm actually really inspired by some of the stuff I was hearing in the Flex plugin. I want to bring up the Flex plugin again because along with the essential winds, there's also essential strings. There's some certain things that I want to add. Let's go all strings, probably sustain would be best. Something like this. All right, now that we have these chords happening, we have to match it to the bass line that's below it. So now our strings go a lot better with the bass and everything else. Now it's time to finally create that almighty sidechain track. So what I'm going to do in this sidechain, I'm just going to load up a, let's take a fruity limiter. Actually, no, let's just take a fruity balance like we did last time. And then we are going to create an automation clip for the volume, just like the hats, except we're going to make one for like the instruments, which is going to be a little different. The concept is the same. We want it to generally go like this, but we want the shape to change a little bit. And we'll figure out a good shape as we go along. But for right now, let me just lay down these triggers. So now let's try routing these strings through the sidechain right here. Let's route the flute as well through the sidechain. The chord hit is going to go through the sidechain also. The rolling bass is definitely going through this sidechain. And the warped lead is also going through the sidechain. Now what I'm going to do here, since it is pretty strong, is hold Shift and Alt and just kind of drag this guy this way. Yeah, just to make sure the sidechain is real smooth. So now we can toss in this little riser that was included with the pack. And I'm also going to add this crash cymbal. Just because I kind of like the impact, it works out pretty well. I'm going to turn it down a lot. And lastly, do you know what we forgot to add? We forgot to add this vocal chant loop. Let's see. Now, I'm not particularly a fan of how this sounds just on top of everything else. Even though it could sound worse, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this last bit and I'm going to throw it in its own channel, and I'm going to add the plugin that we've been using this entire time. I'm going to be adding the gross beat, and I'm going to be doing something very interesting with this. There's one specific preset in here that I know. Yeah, it's 1/4 pitch up, and it looks like this. And if we run this through that gross beat, it goes. And I really like that, just kind of as an effect right before. However, there are a lot of clicks and pops and stuff like that that we have to EQ out. Doesn't totally fix the problem, but it makes it a little bit better. So now, after cranking the master channel just a little bit, this is the final beat. Alright, there's the beat. It's, completely new, even though it shares a lot of similarities to the original beat. It is different, it is new. I did different things to it, and you can take these packs, and this is just one of the kits. Like, there are a bunch of, extremely useful kits in here. They all have a different vibe. They all give me completely different inspiration for a lot of different tracks. So this isn't just a pack for rappers. This is also a pack for producers. The link to our website where you can check out this pack is in the description below. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more tutorials like these, and I will see you in the next video. Happy producing.